Static. I like the fact that we've completed a wonderful demonstration of what election ought to be. We campaigned, we uh, did our stuff on the hustings, and the people have spoken.
The victory was obvious. That was obvious. Any team that using God by saying, great is the PNM and they shall prevail. Man not great, only God great.
I'm ecstatic. I'm so happy. I'm happy for them. You know, we needed them to be, you know, in charge of Tobago and Tobago affairs, and I'm very happy.
Looking ahead to the next 4 years of governance under the TPP, residents say they are expecting stronger performance and tangible results. Among the key priorities highlighted by Tobagonians is the creation of employment opportunities.
Jobs right now and programs for the youth to keep them, occupied because there are plenty distractions. So them I'm hoping that all the promises and things come to pass.
Was good, and I want them to get the youths and them work and this, that, and get them off the street.
And I would like to see they got the autonomy with Tobago, and then we'll be on the right path.
As the Tobago People's Party prepares to govern for another term, residents say they are eager to see the plans outlined in the party's blueprint translated into action across the island. In other news, a total of 100 citizens from across the country were presented with their long-awaited certificates of comfort at a distribution ceremony hosted at the Land Settlement Agency in Barataria on Tuesday. One recipient, Jason Martinez, told TTT News he had been waiting for several years.
I've been waiting 15 years to get this certificate of comfort to move forward and to have some kind of comfort net, to be dwelling on the property there. So I'm very happy today.
This is the government's second distribution ceremony for certificates of comfort. Minister of Land and Legal Affairs and Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Saddam Hussein, says 100 were distributed in December. He adds that 300 residential leases were also distributed to ex-Carney workers thus far.
When you add the 200 leases given out in Picton, plus the other 100 leases from the Carney distribution, we have about 300 residential leases that were distributed. Average, those lands fully approved, the market value for one lot is about $500,000. So when you do the math, the value of lands that this ministry was able to give out was about $150 million worth of lands to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Minister Hussein revealed that by the end of January 2026, approximately 800 citizens will receive their respective certificates. In sport, prominent youth football coach Michael Grayson praised Eddie Hart's contributions to football, steel pan and cricket, while citing that his passing has left a void that needs to be filled. Grayson was speaking after Hart's funeral, which took place on Tuesday in Tacarigua.
Eddie was a sort of renaissance fella. But let me talk about the football and so on alone. The Eddie Hart League is, everybody knows, if you know about the Eddie Hart League, well then something wrong with you. But his passing would leave a void. But I think it's a void that we have to seriously fill. No two ways about it. He gave his all, whether it was football, pan, cricket, whatever he was associated in. Okay, and as people say, he was a mentor to me also.
Hart, who passed away on January 4th, was the founder of the most impactful and long-standing football leagues in Trinidad and Tobago, the Eddie Hart Football League.
Playing in Eddie Hart League, that's the league you had to play in. he had to get recognition playing in the Hart League, right? From whatever area, community he came from. And that was the nice thing about it. All the teams, they came from certain areas. They may have one or two from wherever to Napunan, but they came from areas, they represented the community, and that is where the competitiveness and the rivalry came in.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But on standby, we have Virmala Balkaran, the host of the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you? It's a rainy morning.
It is a rainy morning. You know, I wanted to stay in bed a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, I did some reading this morning, and I started my morning with some really heartwarming news that I wanted to share with you.
Yes, please.
So, you know Barbie. Are you a fan of Barbie and Ken?
My sisters, you know, when we were growing up, yes.
Right. So Mattel is introducing an autistic Barbie as the newest member of its line to integrate and celebrate diversity. Don't you love that, Carrie?
Oh, I love that. That
makes me feel so warm and fuzzy. I love the inclusivity. Well, thank you so much, Carrie. We'll catch you at 7 o'clock for another news update.
We will.
All right. Well, it's a rainy day. Please be safe on the roads. Traffic is already building up, as you know, every single day. We've got a packed show as usual when we come back on TNT Today.
She does keep me up.
I always keep him up.
Keep me up.
Cause I just keep him up. And every time I take a drink, I feel like whining.
I love you wine.
Like whining.
Let it wine. Let it wine.
Oh. And every time my shots I take, I feel like lightning.
We had a line, laddie.
Like lightning.
Hey.
Oh. How are you right up in my space? Yes. You can be right up in my space.
The space.
How are you all up in my face?
All up in your face.
You can be right up in my space.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Health and wellness, the core of our existence on planet Earth. Let us hear the voices of our very own citizens, our local and regional medical community, scientists and climatologists. Caribbean Medical TV is geared to developing a consciousness in our people in terms of our health and lifestyle. Knowledge is a very powerful tool, and we must empower ourselves with the information to protect against chronic and other related diseases. From the impact of climate change on our health to NCDs. Season 3 of Caribbean Medical TV tackles the challenges we all face, giving our citizens hope for a better tomorrow. Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV.
Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. The time now 6:11 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Thank you for joining me. Well, congratulations are still in order to the TPP who on Monday night ran away with all 15 seats in Tobago. The burning questions this morning: a low voter turnout? How do Tobagonians feel? What will the next 100 days look like for our sister isle? We answer these and more inside the show today, when we're joined by economist Dr. Anthony Birchwood, who'll be answering so many questions for us. And of course, the John Cupid Carnival Village 2026, it is here, bigger and in a new home that welcomes the Carnival faithful of all ages. For the next 2 weeks, the John Cupid Carnival Village will be your one-stop shop for edutainment and entertainment, and admission is free. In studio to chat more a little bit later will be Randy Glasgow. Also ahead this morning, if you ever wanted to take a deep dive into GLP-1 meds, Dr. Chad December sits with us to explain all about it. And are you a NAPS Pass student, or perhaps you're a huge fan of their work and events? The second vice president and PRO gives us a taste of what's coming up for the association. And finally, because you asked for it, Clifford Tardew of Tardew Sanctuary joins me with his furry friend Cookie as we tackle head-on the urgent issue of animal welfare in Trinidad and Tobago. As we told you before, it is a packed show we've got for you today. A rainy morning. Whatever you're doing, please be safe on the nation's roads. It seems like it's gonna rain all day today. Coming up soon, we've got all our social media handles for you. Our pavement lime is happening. We've got all that information coming up inside the 7 o'clock hour. We take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Attention viewers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Truth of God now airs on the TTT network every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching of Pastor Jennings as he speaks from God's Holy Bible. The Truth of God, Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. on the TTT network.
Tune in Saturdays for CZIT's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. Brought to you by Fruta.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba vijani. Oh, shun mi ba oh, shun mi ba Arubita, yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, young ones. TTT's Terrific Toon Time is just for you. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's adventure-filled too. Join us as we follow the characters you know and love. See what our hero Zach gets up to in Super Z. Dive into the action with Bugs Butt Ignition. Put on your explorer's cap and join Dada and Dada on their next adventure. And of course, we can't forget our cosmic friends on Galaxy Kids. Tune in Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. and 4:10 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. Don't miss it. It's terrific tune time only on TTT.
In your example, as you raised, the woman, the wife, the mother might be the homemaker. Her role is equally as important.
Yes.
Right? She's no less because she's not out there,
Yes.
for whatever reason. I mean, there has been points in a relationship where I took time off from work
Yes.
to take care of our children.
Yes.
Right? And those are decisions that you make together and things like that. And it doesn't mean that my voice weighs any less in the relationship.
Exactly.
When it comes to financial matters.
Exactly.
Because my role is just equally as important. And I think that is something, really essential to note. The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, the art, the culture, the traditions of Carnival. Experience it all. The music, the mass, the food, the shopping. It's all happening at the John Cupid Carnival Village 2026. And this morning, Mr. Randy Glasgow joins us to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to your viewers wherever they are. It's a pleasure to be here.
And welcome to the show.
Yes.
You're no stranger to TTT, and it's good to have you on our set on TNT today.
Always a pleasure to be here.
So we're talking about the John Cupid Carnival Village.
Yes.
So much buzz on social media about it. So many people posting about it.
Yes.
All the influencers going to all the events. Let's talk about that. What's happening there?
Well, it's first of all, I want to say a special thanks to the Honorable Minister and the board of NCC and the management and staff for bringing us on board to give support, bring our expertise to take the village to another level. So we're happy to be here, and lots of exciting stuff is happening.
Yeah. What can people look forward to in this village?
Well, it's a wonderful space, coupled with the best entertainers in the land. Every night is a spectacular night. And, I was at the village last night, and, I was amazed with the Rapso guys, Tricanal, and they did a marvelous show.
Yeah, tell us about what happened last night. What did they have?
The Rapso, the Rapso legends.
Yeah.
Yes, all the guys, Omari, Tricanal, a whole host of guys, they had people dancing. Special guest appearance by Swappy.
And what has the turnout been like?
It's building.
Okay.
It's building. So we are confident from tonight, where the action intensify, the crowds will be coming out in the numbers.
All right.
We also want to, advise. It doesn't be known, but there's lots of parking.
Okay.
Right opposite the
Yeah,
village.
that is a huge concern.
Yes.
Especially during Carnival time. You want to make sure you don't get wrecked or anything like that.
Yes.
So you can safely park.
Yes, there's parking for probably 1,500 cars.
That's a lot.
Yes, that's a lot of parking.
All right.
You have the paddock and you have the paved area around the village that is available for parking.
So apart from the entertainers, what else can people look forward to when you enter the John Cupid Carnival Village?
Well, there's lots of arts and craft. Some of our best artists, an artisanal there, displaying the arts and selling the art. There's lots of food. More food will be included to make sure, the overall experience is a good one.
And when you say food, we're talking local food?
All the local delicacies, the staples, the bacon shack, the doubles, the Creole stuff, whatever you want. Come hungry when you come into the village.
So, Mr. Glasgow, you would say that this is an excellent place to bring your tourists, all your friends and family visiting the country for Carnival.
Yes.
It's a good exhibition of our, not just Carnival, but our culture as well.
Yes, it's a must-attend village.
Okay.
It's integral of what Carnival is about. The vibe is just nice. You want to give full props to the NCC for designing a wonderful space. People will be amazed that, this space is here and they didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So we invite them to come on down and enjoy it.
Tell us about some of the entertainers that we can expect at the John Cupid Carnival.
All right. Like tonight, we have the Larry Free Up night.
Okay.
With artists like, Full Blown, Crazy, Swappy, Orlando Octave, Kerry John, Second Star, and Certified Samson.
So Larry Free Up.
Yes.
Okay.
Larry Free Up.
All right.
Wonderful event from 7 o'clock tonight. From tomorrow night, the action intensify.
Okay.
Tomorrow night we have a special show with all the ladies, all the big lady stars would be there for something called She Come to Jam.
Okay.
So we're talking Nessa Perry, Terry Lyons, Patrice Roberts, Nadia Batson, Destra, Nyla, Faye Lyons, Jadel, Anika Berry, Drippity, Lady Lava, Nisha B, and then a few men that the ladies love. Lyrical and Kuti, they will be there tomorrow night. So we invite all of Trinidad and Tobago to come down for this special show tomorrow night.
And how long does the village go on for?
It go until 10 o'clock, 10:30, you know. As we get closer to Carnival, it will increase. But, you know, but it's ample time to enjoy a good show, enjoy the best of what we have to offer.
And in terms of dates, how long will the village be going on for as well? When will it end?
It started on the 8th and it ends on the 28th.
Okay. And you have some time because it's the 14th. So you still have 2 weeks.
2 weeks of
the village.
Of non-stop action, non-stop excitement. And we want everybody to come out and enjoy the village.
The most important thing is, what's the price?
Well, it's courtesy the Ministry of Culture and Community and NCC. It's free to the public.
Great, that's amazing. So because this is free, you get to enjoy all of this, all the entertainment, all the edutainment as well, because you learn about Carnival.
Of course.
For free.
Yes. Also, you know, apart from it being free, parking is free.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, we know times are tough, and it's a good way to give back to the community, to the artists. You know, to make sure everybody have a good carnival.
Yeah.
And we are happy, as I said, to be involved, to take it to another level.
Yeah. Okay. So describe the village for someone walking into it for the first time.
All right. It's a wonderful space, you know, put together by the NCC and the board and the staff. When you walk in, there's a foreign feel.
Okay.
Like in Miami.
Okay.
You know, wonderful flooring, beautiful lighting, you know, the booths on either side of the entrance.
Yeah.
So you can stop and eat, or you could stop and buy art and craft. You know, and then wonderful stage, you know, most of the audience is covered. You know, so you don't have to be bothered about rainfall and so forth. So it has beautiful space, and you know, we could talk all day, but we want people to come now and enjoy the experience.
All right. So this ends on the 28th of January?
Yes, the 20th of January.
Yes, remind them of the location once again.
Yes, it's the village is right adjacent to the car park. You know, the taxi where everybody will drop you right in front of you.
Okay,
you know,
very
so
accessible.
No sort of walking.
Yes, and of course ample parking.
Yes,
almost
most important.
1,500 cars. So that means you are safely parked while you enjoy everything at the John Cupid Carnival Village.
Correctly.
Thank you so much, Mr. Glasgow, for joining us this morning on Trinidad and Tobago Today. When we come back, we speak with Dr. Anthony Birchwood, economist and Tobagonian, on everything happening in Tobago going forward.
Watch the passion building and the voices roaring with the mission done and the game is won. With the music talking and the big stage calling, the culture comes alive and it's just endless vibes. The future's bright, we'll be more bright. Now it's sweet time, the time to shine. Life is on, it's no time to be timid. So chase the dreams, live without limit. Is on with Be Mobile.
It's that time of the year again, my friends. You can feel it in the air. Football, football, football. It's back. Everyone's locked in. This is Richard Torpedo Thompson, and my Trinidad and Tobago people. I'll stay this straight. Fans make the game. Cheers, chants, passion. That's the heartbeat of football. There's only one 12th man that really brings the energy. That's Andre Errol Batiste on TTT. Every Thursday on TTT. Don't miss it.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
A sweeping victory for the TPP on Monday. Now we have joining us economist and Tobagonian Dr. Anthony Birchwood to shift the perspective just a bit. Joining us on Zoom, Dr. Birchwood, good morning.
Good morning.
It's so good to have you on the show. How are you today?
Well, fine, thank you. Enjoying the evening.
Yeah, it's definitely a rainy and a really cozy day.
Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Birchwood, as a Tobagonian, how did you personally interpret the outcome of this THA election, especially with the TPP winning all 15 seats?
Well, it was very good because of the fact that we are a Tobago party and Tobago win. So in that sense, it was very good, right?
Yeah, yeah. And from your perspective, what does this result say about the mood and the expectations of the Tobagonians at this time?
Well, it's a bit frightening because from a Tobago perspective, we still have a lot of work to do. So it's a bit frightening.
Mm-hmm.
It's what to say, what do you call it,
Dr. Birchwood, over the election period, social media comments under related posts expressed that, they think Tobago has not fully reached its economic potential. What do you think development, and why do you think that development has been so slow?
What has happened what has happened is that in Tobago, we have what we call unity in decision making. So in Tobago, the unity is all the seats went to one decision. So that's what has happened.
Okay. And Dr.
So,
Birchwood, do you believe that Tobago's economic progress is being limited by its relationship with the central government?
not really yet.
Okay.
What has happened is that the relationship between Tobago and Trinidad is essential.
Mm-hmm.
Is very essential. However, it's very good that all these seats voted the same way right now. Right now, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But what has happened is that the unity between the islands is very important.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dr. Birchwood, how much authority does the THA realistically have over the major economic decisions, things like foreign investment and business development? What do you think?
These are very important questions you ask me. How much unity you really have?
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that in Tobago, the unity between the parties is very important. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be looking to see what will happen in terms of the what will happen in terms of the seats.
Mm-hmm. So, Dr. Birchwood, I've read a lot of your research, and you've spoken about tourism as well, and you've spoken about diversification. So, in practical terms, what does diversification actually mean for Tobago right now, and can we really rely on tourism going forward?
Yes, because we are a small island. As a small island, tourism is very important for us.
Mm-hmm.
Agriculture is important too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say tourism first, and then agriculture afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to actually show some kind of reality, given that agriculture is important for us.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Birchwood, what immediate priorities should the new THA focus on its first 100 days to signal real economic change, in your opinion?
Very important would be the unity between the islands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, yes. I realize that. I realize you're really focused on unity between the islands.
Yeah, very important.
Okay.
And I have to admit that what has happened is that the 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 the, the trend has been amazing in terms of the unity between the islands.
All right, Dr. Birchwood. So if you were advising the Chief Secretary directly at this time, what three economic actions would you recommend immediately for Tobago going forward?
Well, definitely the agriculture, the tourism, the hotels. The plan is to build more hotels, expand in terms of tourism. So that is very important for us. The building of hotels and tourism development. The other thing is the what you call it, the unity between the islands.
Yeah.
That's very, very important.
Indeed, that is important. Well, before we close, Dr. Birchwood, as a Tobagonian, what message do you have for your fellow islanders who are hoping that this election marks a real turning point?
The election is very important for us. So the turning point will be very, very essential for Tobago. In terms of the islands, believe the islands require various debates. It requires various debates. So I'll see how things progress.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Birchwood, for joining us this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. The message is clear: unity between the islands. We definitely need to work on that going forward for Tobago. All eyes on Tobago. Thank you so much for joining me again.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, take care. Well, PNM Tobago leader Ansel Dennis announced he would step down. Here's some more for you.
I am here to do two things. Number one, I'm here to concede defeat in this Tobago House of Assembly election, notwithstanding the fact that I think we ran an extremely good race and an extremely good campaign. The people of Tobago have spoken, and such is democracy. And I want to thank the people that supported the PNM. I want to thank the candidates, some of them here with me this evening. The 14 of them, excellent, outstanding individuals who offered themselves at a very difficult time for the People's National Movement, trying to move from opposition back into the Tobago House of Assembly, offering the people of Tobago something different. And the second thing I want to say to the people of Tobago is that I intend to support a transition to new leadership within the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement. I will be 39 on Wednesday, and I will be calling it a day or perhaps a week in politics, right? I think I have offered myself to the people of Tobago from 2012 at a very tender age to now. I had the opportunity to serve as an assemblyman for the people of Buku-Mount Pleasant.
Well, yesterday we heard from Mr. Foley Augustine, who said it's called a blue tsunami, not a blue wave, a sweeping victory for the TPP in Tobago. As we keep our eyes on Tobago this week on Trinidad and Tobago Today, we've got so much more. When we come back, we talk health, we talk fitness, we talk culture, we talk animals. It's always a packed show for you. A rainy Wednesday in Sweet T&T.
Next, 99.1 FM, Soca Dominion, where Soca lives.
Give me a chance to wine on ya, so I can win with ya, and I can jam with ya. Give me another chance so I can...
Tune in Saturdays for CZIT's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. Brought to you by Fruta.
One day I was out playing with my friend Kevin, and he was really moody. Kinda sad and angry at the same time. I asked him what was the matter. Someone in his family had been doing mean things to him. He said he had to keep it a secret. So I asked Kevin, is it a good secret or a bad secret? He said he didn't know. I explained good secrets are cool things like a surprise party or a gift for a special occasion. A bad secret is when someone hurts or harms you and tells you not to tell anyone. Sometimes they might give you little things to make sure you don't tell. That's another bad secret to keep. That's mean and controlling. Kevin said it definitely fell into the bad secret category. I felt this was something an adult should help with. Because as a child, when someone hurts you, you can feel really alone and afraid. And the best people to help you are the ones you love and really, really trust. I asked him if there was any adult that he trusted. So we worked up a little plan for Kevin to talk to one of them. A while after that, I could see my friend was doing much better. Now we tell all our pals about good secrets and bad secrets so that we can all feel brave, safe, and strong. Break the silence. Child abuse is one secret you should never keep.
So, you're not setting rules home, but telling your daughter don't let no teacher have to call you because she's not following rules in school? You ever hear the old people say, butt in your crease? Better believe you could use that to set boundaries with your children. You are more than a friend to your children. Set clear, healthy boundaries for both you and your child. Make sure they are age-appropriate and, most importantly, consistent. This helps them understand what behavior is expected of them and provides a sense of structure and stability. It gives you a framework of trust and understanding to build on. And so at the end of the day, do your best. Share if you found this useful, and like and follow our profile for more parenting tips. Letter of the day, B, boundaries.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
17 minutes before the hour of 7 o'clock. Well, the Gael is more than just a fighting ring. For generations, this sacred space has been the heart of stick fighting, where African rhythms, ancestral memory, and warrior skill came together. As we listen to the drums play, we focus on a history continuing in time. Here's more from Marie-Therese Bernard.
Before the first stick is raised, before the fighters even step into the ring, the music begins. In stick fighting, the drum is not background sound. It is the heartbeat of the fight.
In stick fighting, the drums are used for communication with the fighters.
Every rhythm has a purpose. Every beat carries instruction. The bass drum, known as the bull, calls the fighters to move. The fuller fills the space, keeping time steady and strong. And the cutter listens closely, responding to every step, every shift of the fighter's body.
Whereas the fuller fills the spaces between the rhythm, and the cutter, he plays to the movement of the stick fighter.
This music controls pace, sharpens focus, and builds tension. Faster cuts raise the intensity. Slower rhythms demand restraint. The fighters don't just hear the drum, they feel it. In this tradition, no drum stands alone. Each depends on the other, just as the fighter depends on the music.
the bass and the fuller has constant notes, but the cutter changes with the steps of the fighter. None can do without the other. So it's not that the cutter is most important. Each one plays its role.
Mastering these rhythms takes years. While some drummers learn the basics in a short time, the cutter, the most responsive drum, demands deep experience.
I say about 1 year may work for the bassman and the fuller, but the cutter man should have at least 5 years under his belt. 10 would even be better.
The connection goes even deeper. Drummers often play differently for fighters they know, creating a personal musical language between them.
I believe each drummer has a favorite person that they play a different hand for, especially if they know the person. That hand would be played for that person because the person would know and expect that sound, yeah.
And then there's the chantwell, the lead singer whose voice binds everything together.
Between the drum and the chantwell, there must be some glue there. They must function together for it to work perfectly.
Once the chanting starts and the drums begin, the fight becomes a single living moment. Music, movement, and a spirit working as one.
Drummers for stick fight, there was one thing I had to tell people about it, is that they are in no way separate from the fighters or the chantwell. Once that fight starts and that drumming starts, there is a togetherness there that none can do without the other. Anytime one stop, all have to stop.
In stick fighting, the music doesn't follow the action, it leads it. Marie-Therese Bernard for We Focus on TTT News.
Thank you so much, Marie-Therese Bernard, for that exciting feature. Are you a NAP student? Perhaps you're a past NAP student? Well, you're going to want to stick around for what's coming up on TNT Today.
Struggling with heart health or frequent migraines? Discover the simple steps to reclaim your energy and vitality.
We're diving into a topic that affects about 422 million people around the world: diabetes.
Tune into Wellness Unlocked, the series that delivers expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your health and well-being. Your health matters. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on TTT and take the first step toward better health.
When you look at surveys and things about issues and reasons that couples divorce, while things like communication is really at the forefront, finances, that conversation finds its way somewhere, around in the first 5 or so reasons, because it's a big part of a relationship, right? You're not just getting married because you're in love.
Right.
Love is part of it, but how are you going to eat? Exactly. How are your children going to eat? How are you going to live? Right? All of those practical things are very important to think about. The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
One big bad virtual fan starts in.
Look double again, can't wait to put on the top. Look double again, till I time coming home. Look double again, with my friends on the road. How can you say again? Anywhere I bottle up, anywhere that have a truck, anywhere that have a car, anywhere that have a man. Somebody say soca, give me life. Somebody say soca, keep it playing soca. We ain't even know about anything but soca. She set the place on. Baila, mami, mami. Baila, mami, mami. Baila, mami, mami. Baila. All day. Not gonna leave you for nothing. I'm gonna play with bum, bim, bim, bum, bum, bum. Bim, bim, bum, bum, bum.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
A busy group indeed. There's always something happening at NAPS. The PRO of the Naparima College Association of Past Students, Yadav Mohip, is here to tell us about what's coming up. Good morning, Yadav.
Good morning, Virmala.
Thanks for being here on the show. So tell me about the Naparima College Association of Past Students and its relation to the Naparima College.
Well, the Naparima College Association of Past Students is the official alumni body of the college. So we are there to then support the college in any way possible. So whether that be financial or, mentorship programs, sometimes in kind, showing up and being there for assembly, these kind of things to give that guidance to the youths and just to maintain a strong connection to our alma mater and give them that support they need in any way possible. Our motto is putting students first, and everything we do is to, maintain that level at Naparima College so that the generations to come thrive in the same way that we did.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have had their eyes on the association. It's always, like I keep saying, there's always something happening, always seeing something on social media, something in the newspapers. I know that Naparima College is having a road race this weekend. What can we talk about that?
Right, so the college is having their annual road race. It is this weekend, starting up at the college grounds on Lute Drive in San Fernando. It's a 5K. The usual thing at 6:30 a.m. We want the entire community to come out. It's all about, promoting wellness, promoting fitness, and it's one of the flagship events of the college. People, you register, you come, you take part, you get a really nice medal after, and it's something that the college, they are putting all their eggs in that basket for this event. That's their event, and we help them promote it, and we're there to support, and along the way we'll be ushering and all that, giving out water, all that. So we are there with them 100%.
I love how active the past students are. And also you said medal. Everyone's chasing a medal these days. Are you a 5K one as well?
No one then, but it's a real fancy medal. So yeah.
Okay. So you hear it. It's a fancy medal. So that's one you want to collect for sure. So the alumni will be hosting their signature fundraising event. Everybody knows this one. It's NAPS Paradise. That's coming up on Carnival Friday. So what can you tell us about that and who is performing? I heard there's also a new venue.
Right. So you guys are going to hear that here first.
Okay.
So, NAPS Paradise is the evolution of the NAPS Vet. We've tinkered with different formats in the past, and we have settled on the hybrid format. It's been doing well for us. So we have that cooler section. We have the VIP section, so people could come with their hands swinging. We started at a very economic price point, I would say, for people who want that inclusive section. And, this year we have our usual headliner, which is Kesty Band. And, he comes and gives us a rocking show as always. This year we'll have, the usual suspects, Nyla Blackman, Michael Tedja, Full Blown, Young Brother, a few others that we would release in time to come. And, well, as I said, you'll hear it here first. We were supposed to be at Petrotrin, in the Petrotrin compound in Pointe-a-Pierre, but due to recent developments, we are now moving to Skinner Park, which is the mecca for South Carnival this year. So we are going to be in Skinner Park, which is going to be, I think, a bit easier for the overall process for the fete.
Yeah, I agree.
So we are at Skinner Park this year.
So Knapsack, that's such an interesting name. When I saw that, I loved it. The PTA body of the school. So I know you have a golf fundraiser as well.
Right, so Knapsack is the PTA arm of the college. So we work, hand in hand with them. So they are throwing their golf tournament. It is on, if I'm not mistaken, let me just check back the date of it here. It is supposed to be, I think, on February 8th.
Okay.
The golf tournament, it brings out a lot of alumni. It's, these men and their golf, is something that they look forward to. We would like people to register, there's all the registration process is on our social media. So you all could feel free to go on social media, check out the golf tournament, check out you know, how you could sign up and all that, and the prizes and whatnot, a lot of prizes to be won.
All right, so before we close, how do all these fundraisers assist Naparima College?
All right, so, you know, there's so much more that is needed by schools than what is given to them, you know. And to really work at an optimal level, there's so much resources that are needed. For example, the intercall season, right? In order for a successful intercall season to take place, the school needs that investment. And the fundraisers that we throw and that Knapsack throws, they allow the school to thrive in these ways. So, you know, they can't do it on their own. We have gained a lot from going to Naparima College. We have, you know, benefited from the college, and we always urge people in the alumni to give back, you know, give back to the school. And these fundraisers, they allow for these things to happen, for new projects. We are doing a lot for the PAN side, we are doing a lot for the new buildings of new labs. There's just so much that comes with running an institution of this nature. And many times, you know, a lot of schools, they don't get that support. You know, so we try to, you know, put our money where our mouth is and really show that love for our alma mater.
All right, thank you so much, Yadav Mohit, for joining us, and we're looking forward to Naps Paradise Carnival Friday.
Yeah, that's on Carnival Friday.
Yes, right.
It's to the 13th, and yeah, it's going to be great.
Thank you so much. Carol will be up next with the 7 a.m. news right after this short break.
Next, 99.1 FM, Soca Dominion, where Soca lives.
Give me a chance to wine on you, so I can win with you, and I can jam with you. Give me another chance so I can...
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Child abuse is one secret you should never keep.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Good morning. This is your TTT News update at 7. I am Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. 5 puisne judges have been appointed to the Supreme Court to address existing vacancies and meet the growing demands within the judiciary. The appointments are intended to strengthen the court's capacity, improve the efficiency of case management, and ensure the timely administration of justice. The judges took their oath of office at President's House. Chief Justice Ronnie Budu Singh said the appointment of Justice Maria Busby Earl Cadell, Justice Trevor Jones, Justice Sidel Johnson, Justice Raymond Roberts, and Justice Josefina Batiste Mohammed come at an important time in our country's history. He urged the new appointees to the High Court bench to maintain trust and confidence in the judiciary as they meet the demands of the citizenry.
Public are interested in ensuring that they receive their judgments in a timely manner, that they obtain a fair hearing, and that when they bring disputes to the court, that these are resolved in a fair, just, and efficient way.
Having sat as Master of the High Court in the Criminal and Traffic Division, Justice Trevor Jones highlighted some of the steps that are currently being taken to address the backlog within the judicial system.
So one of the benefits I would say when I sat as Master is focusing more on case management. So in the past, trials took too long. And now that we have the criminal procedure rules, we try our best to use that to minimize the time it takes to conduct trials. Also, with the introduction of judge-alone trials, that has assisted in the reduction of time it takes. So those two methods, proper case management, the use of judge-alone trials when and where it's appropriate, I think that assists in managing the length of time trial takes and the length of time it takes to have trials.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is reminding the public that vehicles parked illegally may be towed or removed in accordance with the law. The police, in a media statement, announced that vehicle towing operations will resume soon. The practice forms part of the police service's mandate to ensure public safety, maintain the free flow of traffic, and uphold law and order on the nation's roadways. The TTPS noted that illegally parked vehicles can obstruct emergency services, reduce visibility for motorists and pedestrians, and block access to essential locations. The police emphasized that towing is not intended as a punitive measure, but as a means to encourage compliance with traffic laws. When a vehicle must be removed, officers will make brief inquiries in the immediate area to locate the driver. If the driver cannot be found or refuses to comply, the vehicle may be impounded. Should the driver appear while the vehicle is being hooked up but before removal, the vehicle may be released and the appropriate ticket or charge issued. All towing operations are conducted in accordance with the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. In more news, former player and coach in the famous Eddie Hart League, Cromwell Bissessa, said he would like to see the Orange Grove Savannah in Tacarigua officially renamed as the Eddie Hart Savannah. Bissessa was speaking at the funeral of former Tunapuna Member of Parliament and sport advocate Eddie Hart.
Marvelous, and Mr. I think it's Radcliffe, the last speaker, who spoke about the corporation, and renaming the ground, the Eddie Hart ground instead of the Orange Grove Savannah. I think this will go a long way for the development and other youths coming along. I think we should rename the ground the Eddie Hart ground instead of the Orange Grove Savannah. I think that would have fitting monumental to the man himself.
And that was your TTT News Update. I am Carrie Roberts. Have a good morning.
Ladies, let me tell them, hey, hey, what they calling me? My nickname is Coffee. How I get that name? Cause I just keep him up.
She does keep you up.
I always keep him up.
Keep me up.
Cause I just keep him up. And every time I take a drink, I feel like whining.
Like
wine,
Let it wine.
And every time my shots I take, I feel like lightning.
We had a lane, laddie.
Like lightning.
Hey,
How are you right up in my space? Yes. You can be right up in my space. My space. How are you all up in my face?
All up in your face.
You can be right up in my space.
Health and wellness, the core of our existence on planet Earth.
Let us hear the voices of our very own citizens, our local and regional medical community, scientists and climatologists. Caribbean Medical TV is geared to developing a consciousness in our people in terms of our health and lifestyle. Knowledge is a very powerful tool, and we must empower ourselves with the information to protect against chronic and other related diseases. From the impact of climate change on our health to NCDs, Season 3 of Caribbean Medical TV tackles the challenges we all face, giving our citizens hope for a better tomorrow. Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV.
Tune in Saturdays for CZIT's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. Brought to you by Fruta.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
In your example, as you raised, the woman, the wife, the mother might be the homemaker. Her role is equally as important.
Yes.
Right? She's no less because she's not out there,
Yes.
for whatever reason. I mean, there has been points in a relationship where I took time off from work
Yes.
to take care of our children.
Yes.
Right? And those are decisions that you make together and things like that. And it doesn't mean that my voice weighs any less in the relationship.
Exactly.
When it comes to financial matters.
Exactly.
Because my role is just equally as important. And I think that is something really essential to note. The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
GLP-1 meds. I'm sure you've heard of them. I'm also sure that you've got a lot of questions. What are they for? Are they safe? Who should use them? This morning, Dr. Chad December joins us, a consultant, endocrinologist, and diabetologist. He obtained a specialist training in the University of Cambridge and is a registered specialist in the United Kingdom and Trinidad and Tobago. And now he has a particular interest in GLP-1 receptor agonist therapies, especially their organ protective benefits, and brings over 10 years of clinical prescribing experience in this area. For those unfamiliar with GLP-1 meds, Dr. December, could you explain what Ozempic and Mounjaro are and how they work in the body?
All right. Virmala, congratulations on your show, firstly. Thanks for having me on. Right, so these medicines, right, what does GLP-1 mean, right? So it's something called glucagon-like peptide 1, right? And these medicines attach to certain receptors in the body, right? So initially it was designed for type 2 diabetes. Basically, it attaches to the receptors on your pancreas.
Okay.
So your pancreas sends out more insulin, basically, when it senses your blood sugar rising after eating, right? Then it was also discovered to work on your intestines and stomach, right? So it actually slows down the emptying of your stomachs. Therefore, people feel full. Longer with smaller meals, right? And therefore, that adds to a lot of the weight loss effect that we see.
So calorie deficit, essentially. You eat less.
you eat less, right? And then one of the most important things that they discovered, it also works on the part of the brain called the hypothalamus, which is responsible for what we call food noise, right? So people don't crave healthy food, right? They crave unhealthy food, right? So it actually turns your brain off of wanting to eat these bad foods. And a lot of patients say that, that is one of the main effects that they feel. Yeah, so those are like the main mechanisms of the drug and how they work.
Right. So how effective are they in managing, let's get to it, diabetes?
Right. So excellent question, right? So they are really, really effective in managing diabetes, right? Maybe as close as insulin is, right? As effective. However, compared to insulin, it has a lot more benefits, right? Insulin, for instance, makes you put on weight, right? This drug, of course, has the opposite effect, right? Plus, Ozempic, Mounjaro, those drugs, they also have organ protective benefits, as we discussed. So it protects your heart, it protects your kidneys. Most recently, there's studies that it protects your liver, and a lot of studies being done on brain protection, protection against stroke, dementia. And the list goes on, essentially. Yeah. So they don't just tackle blood sugar, but they are actually looking at holistic, management when I prescribe those drugs. So yeah, really good stuff. Yeah.
Doc, even as my doctor, we've had discussions about, it's very controversial these days, and I think a lot of people are relying on this for weight loss. Let's talk about that.
Okay, excellent question. Excellent question. Now, what you see on social media and mainstream media, for instance, is a lot of people using them for weight loss, right? But a lot of places portray it as rapid weight loss, right? You want to fit into a Carnival costume, you want to fit into, whatever, right? But these drugs were never designed to be used that way, right? I am a big proponent of slow, steady weight loss and safe weight loss, right? They are approved for weight loss by the FDA, but you have to fulfill a certain criteria. So your body mass index or BMI needs to be above 30, or it can be as low as 27, but you must have an additional risk factor essentially for a heart issue. So BMI over 27 with diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, right? And most importantly, they should be used under the supervision of a medical practitioner, who actually has experience with prescribing and using them. Because you can't just say, okay, take this, go home and use it, right? You have to be in touch with the patient and guide them correctly on each step of the way, essentially, for these things to work properly.
Doc, I'm very concerned off script just a bit, since Carnival is coming up. I know a lot of people have been relying heavily on this, and you spoke about the BMI as low as 27, but you have people with BMIs way lower than that, and it's just it's a self-esteem thing. You look in the mirror and you say, well, I can shave off maybe like 30 pounds so I can fit into my costume. I want to fit into a small, an extra small. I don't want to do a medium this year. Let me just take some GLP-1 meds. What do you think about that?
All right. Well, that's a bit, as you said, controversial, right? Because the first thing is, right, if your BMI is below 27, right, and you aren't diabetic, you probably should not be on a GLP-1 drug, right? These drugs are prescription drugs, like any other prescription drug, right? Must be prescribed by a physician, firstly, and you must fulfill the indications or criteria for the drug, right? Also, rapid weight loss could also, cause harm. Right. I'm sure everyone has heard of Ozempic face, Ozempic butt, right? You look really wasted, and then people don't feel well either, right? They feel tired, they feel cold, they don't eat at all. It can completely suppress their appetite. So it was never intended to be a rapid process, right? It was always intended to be slow and steady, but it has been abused and misused, right? And it's in the country a bit more freely now, even though it's not registered.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think about that? The lack of regulation when it comes to that.
Yes. So I have been in talks with some folks at the Ministry of Health, right? And even though they're not registered, right, there are ways to legitimately prescribe it for patients who will benefit, right? So it is a process. So you have to have maybe a pharmacist who can actually import from the correct sources, and the Ministry of Health, the Food and Drug Division, Customs and Excise Division, all has to get involved in this process, because the drugs need to be transported on what we call a cold chain transport, certain temperatures, right? Then I presume the ministry would make sure, okay, this is the original drug, the correct drug, and then, okay, did a specialist send a prescription in, right? That's it, So you can prescribe it legally, legitimately for the correct patients. Right? So you see a lot of places now on social media.
Which brings me to my next question. What about the clinics and the spas? And then they're claiming to provide Ozempic and other GLP-1 agonists. Now, Doc, I believe there will be risks associated with obtaining these medications from these sources. What do you think about that?
Well, I agree with you. I think it's risky. A lot of these places don't have any medical doctors, firstly. We don't know what they're giving to people, right? We don't know how they were obtained and how they were transported to come into the country. Also, I've seen...
Authenticity.
Right. I've actually seen this in person. A patient brought to me a vial, and at the bottom of the vial, it says, for research purposes only, not for human use. And this was being given by a pharmacy in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have to be really careful with these things.
That makes me, I'm at a loss for words with that one. Anyway, moving on. Well, do you think you regain weight after you stop these drugs?
Excellent question. So that's one of the biggest fears that patients have, actually.
Yeah.
Not going on the drug, but actually what happens when I come off, right?
Yeah.
So, as I said, I'm a big fan of, slow, steady weight loss, but I'm also a fan of using lower dosages.
Okay.
Tell
us about the dosages.
So for instance, Ozempic, the starting dose would be 0.25 mg, right, milligram, right? The drug company says, after 4 weeks, you should probably increase that dose, right? Okay.
So you slowly build up your dose. So you build up your tolerance as well.
Exactly. So your body gets acclimatized in.
Right.
However, I would say, look, if you, after 4 weeks of using the low dose, I would tell the patient, let me know how you're feeling, let me know how your weight is trending, right? And if they actually are responding to that low dose, I will probably keep them on the low dose, right? I mean, the lowest effective dose, essentially, right? That you get benefit. You don't want to be completely, you want to eat as well, but you want a bit of appetite suppression, not complete appetite suppression,
but you also need to nourish your body with all the foods that are necessary to keep you alive.
So the most important thing when you're on a low dose for it to be effective, you have to be getting enough protein, essentially, right? So most experts would say, at least 100 grams, which is really high, but most patients even need higher than that, right? So a formula that I saw recently, 1 gram per pound of your target body weight, right?
Oh, target?
Yeah, so if you're 200 pounds and you want to reach, say, 150 pounds, you would have to take in 150 grams of protein per day, which is exceptionally hard for a lot of people, right?
Especially if you don't have an appetite.
Of course, right. Therefore, you don't want maximal appetite suppression. You want to be able to eat still, right? But you have to be eating properly. Now, the other component of it is resistance or strength training, right? Again, most guidelines, most experts would say, 3 to 4 days per week, you want 15 to 20 minutes or so of some sort of weights resistance. It doesn't have to be like a bodybuilder level weights. You could get two light dumbbells, body weight squats,
2
push-ups,
bottles of water,
2 bottles of water.
Just maybe two bags of flour.
So I would say what the patient does actually is actually more important than what the drug does. But when you put them together, you get a really good response.
So Doc, we spoke about the calorie deficit, right? Let's just say you're on this drug and it is causing you to eat a lot less. So automatically you start losing the weight because you're in a calorie deficit. When you come off of this and your appetite comes back, then I believe it's on you to maintain that and to say, I'm not going to just, because I'm hungry again, I'm going to consume all the calories. So does it really just come down to calorie in versus calories out?
Well, that's a big part of it, yes. And again, why I'm a big fan of the low doses, because it's easier to come off a low dose than to come off a high dose. If you're on a high dose, I would probably suggest, you wean over a period of time, essentially. It will take probably up to 6 months, right? But yes, calories in versus calories out are a big part of it. But a lot of patients who I've seen, for instance, patients with polycystic ovarian syndrome, they have what we call insulin resistance.
That's
also, a lot of patients with prediabetes or diabetes, right? Now, when you do lose weight, insulin resistance comes down, right? And then it makes it easier to lose weight following that, right? So if you could actually reverse that insulin resistance process, right? And you kind of reset your brain, your body, and then you come off the drug, I think once you stick to to that regime, you know, I think you should be fine coming off.
And that's where the real test is. Will you stick to it?
Exactly.
So it's not a shortcut, essentially.
No. Yeah.
So let's talk side effects or potential risks of using Ozempic, especially for those people using it for a very long time.
Yeah, excellent question. So the most common side effect that somebody would report would be basically nausea, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, you're now, eating a very small meal, and that meal is sitting on your stomach basically for a long period of time, right?
Yes.
So I would tell patients, okay, so of course you have to reduce your portion sizes firstly, right? But you really want to avoid like really oily, greasy, fried stuff and very, very spicy stuff, at least until you could figure out what you could eat or not, right?
Okay.
Eating slowly is actually something that I tell patients, and avoiding like fizzy drinks. Right?
Okay. Why the fizzy drinks?
Well, it could irritate your stomach,
Okay.
Thinking about these bubbles in your stomach. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly, right? Now, are there any long-term effects or long-term negative effects? That's another controversial topic, right? I have mostly seen long-term benefit because remember, these drugs protect your heart, your kidneys, your brain, your liver, right? If done correctly, I think it's actually way more beneficial than detrimental, right?
Okay.
There has been links to certain conditions. However, so for instance, there's a rare form of thyroid cancer called medullary thyroid cancer, right? That was linked to, but it only happened in the initial studies on rodents. It was never actually translated across to humans. And the Scandinavian population, which has a really high prevalence of this form of cancer, there was a study done recently that said, okay, patients on this drug in our population, there's no increased risk of this rare form of thyroid cancer. So I guess it was sort of debunked, right? There's also a link with pancreatitis or inflammation of the pancreas, right? But again, the drug company says, look, the patients who got pancreatitis on this drug, they may have had other risk factors for pancreatitis anyway, right? Alcohol use, gallstones. But they would say, look, if you had a history of pancreatitis, probably be very cautious with using this drug. But I haven't seen any long-term I've only seen long-term benefit. I haven't seen any long-term side effects, essentially. But again, you have to be, under specialist supervision throughout this whole process.
Which brings me to my next question. Someone is walking into your office and say, Doc, I want to take this. I think I have PCOS. My gynecologist told me I have PCOS and I want to take this. What's the first step as a doctor who's very concerned about all of these things? What do you do? Are there tests or anything like that before you determine whether someone can go on Ozempic or Mounjaro?
Excellent question. So like any other consultation, you have to go through the patient's medical history examination, right? And yes, I want to see your basic blood test, right? So I need to know how your liver is functioning or your kidneys functioning. See how your blood sugars are, your cholesterol, measure your blood pressure, those sort of things. And since you brought up PCOS, right? And I know you're very passionate about that topic, right?
Actually, I was diagnosed with PCOS at the age of 15.
Yeah, so I've seen a number of women diagnosed with PCOS, right? But when I actually do my hormonal assessment, right, I actually find other things that could be mimicking or looking like PCOS.
Interesting.
Yes. So I know we're all a bit off topic
No,
here, right?
that's fine. That's fine because that's really dear to my heart as well, and something I've always spoken about. Yeah. And I've consulted with you for this. But yeah, let's talk about that. PCOS.
So for instance, so a lot of women have irregular menstrual cycles, right? And then as soon as you go to a doctor, they say, okay, well this is probably PCOS, and they do an ultrasound and they find what we call cyst or follicles on the ovaries, right? But a lot of times blood tests aren't done. So when you look at what is actually required to diagnose PCOS, you have to rule out a number of other medical conditions, right? So basically, so one really common condition, underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism must be excluded. High prolactin levels. Prolactin is a hormone made by your pituitary gland, right? Sometimes if produced in excess, it could cause irregular menstrual cycles, right? Also in some patients, you want to rule out this condition called Cushing syndrome, which is like high cortisol levels. So basically, PCOS is what we call a diagnosis of exclusion. You have to rule out certain medical conditions before you could say this person has PCOS. I've seen a number of women misdiagnosed with PCOS when it was something else all along.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, just a personal note. Back in my time, I would say when I was diagnosed with PCOS, I was 15 years old, and there was not much on the internet about polycystic ovarian syndrome. So it was this mystery thing. That, hey, I think you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's a disease. At that time, I think they may have said 6 in 10 women.
Yeah.
What's the figure like now?
Well, I think it may actually be a lot higher than that, to be honest with you. And a lot of women they do have underactive thyroids, for instance, but you can't have PCOS at the same time, right? So sometimes, you're not sure what you're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
So these tests, like these hormonal tests, become really important, right?
Yes.
And I also, nowadays I've been checking insulin levels, and, there's also a blood test called AMH.
Okay.
Like if you're unsure, right? And it may seem like, you have an irregular menstrual cycle and, you're pretty sure about it. But at the same time, in my mind, I have to be absolutely sure this is PCOS before I put patients on any medicine, or, I don't want to misdiagnose anyone. So,
exactly.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot more common than we think. I don't have an exact number, right? But it's really, really prevalent. And I believe it's because of weight-related, weight gain, essentially. In our population, we aren't eating right, we aren't exercising, young people aren't making time for themselves.
West Indian food as well.
Right,
Yeah, very carb heavy, if you look at what our meals look like.
Right, and then around every corner, there's a double stand.
Yeah,
roti. Right? Roti, KFC, and a lot of young people.
Everything in moderation, though. Yeah, so back to PCOS and the use of GLP-1 meds. So you think that there is definitely some benefit for people with dealing with that sort of insulin resistance?
Definitely. There's a lot of studies being done, and it's actually comparing these drugs to metformin, for instance, and these drugs to lifestyle measures, and the results are incredible. For instance, a lot of women with PCOS have trouble getting pregnant, right? And I don't know if you ever heard the term Ozempic babies.
Yes, I've heard about that. Increased fertility.
Right. So patients who lose weight and they lose it safely, and they have polycystic ovarian syndrome, they're actually unexpectedly getting pregnant.
Okay.
Right.
Now, so that's a good side effect for a lot of people.
It's a good side effect, but then you have to,
especially if you're trying to conceive, right?
Yeah, but then you also have to remember now that you can't be on these drugs while you're pregnant.
Okay.
Or even within 8 weeks of planning to get pregnant. So it's sort of a controversial area, right?
Okay.
Some doctors keep the patients on the drug, right, until the point of getting pregnant, but it does last for another 8 weeks in your body. And this is like a critical time during that first trimester. So
does it also affect birth control methods?
If it affects it, I don't think it affects the birth control really, but I would say if you're on these drugs, you probably should use some sort of contraception, right?
Yeah.
Until the international experts say, okay, it is safe to be used in pregnancy, or until the point that you get pregnant. It's still a very controversial gray area, I would say.
Yeah.
But yes, a lot of people have gotten pregnant on the drug. They stop it, and the babies are fine, right? But you have to be very, very careful. Like any other drug, you have to be careful with pregnancy. So, yeah.
Dr. Chad, I want to come back to the issue of legislation. I want to get a little deeper in that. How important is it to have legislation regulating the use of GLP-1 medication in Trinidad and Tobago? And we want to make sure that this is legally obtained for patient use, and is it currently legally obtained?
Of course. So from my knowledge, right, in Trinidad, there's 2 forms of GLP-1 agonists that are already registered and available, right? One is called Trulicity, one is called Victoza, right?
Okay.
And you get it from the distributing companies, right? So they are already available in the country, right? But the ones that we're speaking of, right, the more advanced formulations, Ozempic, Mounjaro, they aren't registered. They are FDA approved, people are using them internationally, but they aren't registered, right? Now, any product or drug that is not registered, right, if you're bringing it into the country, the Ministry of Health must know about it. The CMO, I believe, needs to know about it, right, and give permission, essentially, for a doctor to prescribe it for a patient, and then for a pharmacist or whoever it is to import, right? So it is exceptionally important that we have, proper legislation and laws, right? As I said, these drugs are prescription drugs, right? And you can't just walk into any spa
and take chances with any black market drugs.
Okay, so it's similar to, so suppose you go to a spa and you ask for antibiotics or chemotherapy or something, right? And you have no medical problems. It's similar to that, right?
Okay.
It is prescription drugs, right? Even though you get weight loss effect, this is actually medical weight loss. It's not weight loss, to fit into a carnival costume, right? So yes, it's really important. And I have approached the Ministry of Health as well. How do we deal with this issue, and also how do we get these drugs more readily available to patients?
Yes.
But I believe Ozempic and Mounjaro, it's not that we aren't trying to get it registered. There's a lack of supply, right? The demand is so high across the world that we can't even get it into our country for sale.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? And Trinidad may be one of the last countries that they may send this drug out to, So But we are pushing to get them, you know.
And I think you would agree that the demand is going up, especially with Carnival in the air. Yeah. Another question for you. What's the difference between semaglutides and tirzepatides?
Oh, excellent question as well. So semaglutide, right, works on what we call the GLP-1 agonist, GLP-1 receptor, right? However, tirzepatide, which is Mounjaro or Zepbound, as the brand names, they work not only on the GLP-1 receptors, but there's also another receptor called GIP-1 receptor, right? They do similar jobs.
Okay.
But the tirzepatide version is more potent for weight loss. Also, a lot of patients say that they actually feel like less nauseous on the Mounjaro tirzepatide formulation, right? You could get probably up to, say, 20%, 20 to 25% total body weight loss on tirzepatide, of course, over a period of time, right? Probably up to a year or more, or slightly more. The studies have shown Ozempic maybe about 10 to 15% weight loss, so you get a bit less.
So use some big words there, Doc. Can we break this down? Give us it in layman's terms.
Okay, so basically Mounjaro is the more potent of the drugs,
there we
right?
go. Right.
You get more weight loss with that one. It is more expensive, however, right? And some patients have reported less side effects with the Mounjaro formulation.
And that's because of the tirzepatides.
Because it
versus semaglutide.
Yeah, it does have a different mechanism of action where it causes less stomach upset. Pretty complex, you know.
That's one thing that I've seen a lot of complaints about. It's the nausea that comes from this. So for people who are on the medication, how do you recommend that they deal with the nausea?
Yeah, so
no fizzy drinks.
Right. So as I said, yes, we need to change exactly what you eat. But some people, when you feel sick, right, it could actually mean that your dose is too high, right? So sometimes you have to say, okay, let's go back down a little bit on your dose, right, until you feel better.
Okay.
Right. See how things go for a little while, and then you could go back up, right? As I said, you don't want to be feeling sick on the drug. If you're feeling sick, that means something is probably wrong. Yeah. And just because the drug company says start at this particular dose and then go up after a month doesn't mean that every single patient must do that, right?
Yeah.
All patients are different, right? So you have to really be in touch with your patient, close communication, because everyone responds differently from what I could see.
Yeah.
There's even a few who don't even respond at all, right?
Oh.
Yeah. No, whether or not these patients are doing the correct things at home, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. But yes, but I would say probably 90% of patients do have a good response, but everyone is different. So you can't just say, okay, take Ozempic, go home, come back in a year, right?
Yeah.
After 4 weeks, I want to know what's happening, right? Yeah, so I would say, maybe if you feel sick, you could reduce your dose. You, of course, need to change what you eat. And you could use simple antacids, Gravol, etc. to help,
Right.
But your body does get acclimatized and used to it over maybe a month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Doc, before we wrap up, one of my greatest concerns with these meds, we talk about calorie deficit, we talk about not being able to consume very much. And sometimes you have a very shrunken appetite. And then you might just say, if I have 1 doubles or triples or however you would quantify it, that's enough for the calories for the day. I just consume, let's just say 600 calories, maybe. So I'm good. That's going to stay in my stomach for the entire day. And that way you're not getting all the protein that you need. So I hope we continue to impress upon people the importance of consuming a healthy diet, especially when you're on these meds. Don't you agree?
I definitely agree, yes. If you're eating 1 doubles a day, you aren't getting any nutrition at all, and you're getting no protein, right? So I think that just defeats the whole purpose of being on the drug.
It does.
It makes you more unhealthy than you are already, essentially.
Just consuming less calories, but not the correct calories.
Yeah, no, that's really, really bad. And that's where you see all of these side effects now popping up, People that used to look normal aren't looking normal anymore. Essentially,
Well, sometimes that's what they're going for, maybe.
Well, sometimes, yes.
All right, Doc, finally, what final thoughts would you like to share with our viewers about GLP-1 agonists?
All right, so I'll look at the camera, essentially. So viewers out there, these drugs are really safe, really effective, but must be used correctly, right? You must be under a doctor's supervision. You must be in contact with your doctor regularly, do your blood test. I would say they help all your organs, they help with weight loss, and they help with diabetes, right? So exceptional drugs, but they must be used the correct way. And I'm a big proponent of them, as you all realize.
And also, Doc is a naps boy, so I think we had 2 naps tips on the set this morning.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. Thank you so much, Dr. Chad Bisama, for joining us on Trinidad and Tobago today. And I probably think you would have heard some meows, you know. Yeah. And we've got some furry friends coming up joining us. We're talking about animal abuse awareness, everything happening animal welfare. Clifford Tardew joins us, as well as the Tardew Sanctuary. They do such amazing work in rehabilitating all of these animals. Also, we have Pavement Lime coming up. Carnival 2026 energy is in full swing. Next 99.1 FM brings the vibes with the Pavement Lime Carnival Pump 2026. They're delivering 100% soca, 100% vibes, and pure road ready excitement. Check out our social media, TTT Live Online, and the TNT Today show. So engage with us. Meet we on the road. It's Carnival 2026. When we come back, so much more on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant. If it matters to you, it matters to us. We report the news, real stories in real time. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Tune in Saturdays for CZIT's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. Brought to you by Fruta.
Well, we tried yesterday and the traffic was so awful that Clifford could not make it into studio with Cookie. However, animal cruelty is truly a serious concern across Trinidad and Tobago. Way too many disturbing cases circulating daily on social media. Animal activist and founder of Tardieu Sanctuary, Clifford Tardieu, joins us on set. Clifford, you've been doing this work for years, and I'm so happy to have you on TNT today.
30-something years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And you do this with your wife as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, Clifford, tell us about your sanctuary.
It kind of started here in Trinidad in the 90s when I actually came on TTTT and brought 2 puppies with me. And then people started to follow me, started to throw animals into our property, into the place we were renting in San Juan, and it went from 10 to 200 in 2 twos. But we moved from renting into a place in Valencia where we bought three lots of land. We went to land surveys and we got all our approvals, and we built a nice sanctuary for the cats. We built 2 catteries with donations, and we have now about 256 cats and about 45 dogs. But the great thing about this is that even though we're not where people can find us so easily, people from all over Trinidad come to us to get kittens and cats and dogs and puppies. So we place about 60 cats a year, and we rehome or place about 70 dogs per year.
That's what we always say, adopt, don't shop.
Adopt. It's important. It's important to not just take in, because when you don't have enough, when it's 2,000 cats, when it's 4,000 dogs, you got to have some sort of forward movement.
Now, Cliff, I've been engaging on social media for quite a few years with everything, and it really breaks my heart to have to interact with the content that you see being put out every single day. So many cases of animal abuse. They're dumping animals. You have been doing such an amazing job rehabilitating animals, even just on a more morbid note, dealing with when they pass, when they don't make it. Tell me about the challenges with the sanctuary and with the work that you and your wife Sharon, right?
Yes.
That you do.
The challenges is that it just seems like as much as we do, because I'm not the only rescuer. There are lots of us out there. We may have the most cats, but there are others like Komal and others and April for Life Shelter and all these other people, and they're trying. But as much as we do, it just doesn't seem to curb the amount of animals. Every day on the highways, you're seeing them dead, and that particular aspect of animal cruelty is that it's causing a psychological effect. When parents are going to school and they drive over, they hit an animal. Mommy, what was that? Mommy, what was that? Oh, that was a dog, that was a cat. And that happens over a period of time continually. It desensitizes the child. It desensitizes society. So that Trinidadians now, in my view, are the ones that will now... Describe a Trinidadian, he'd be driving down the road and there's a dog in the road and he's seeing it and he doesn't slow down, boop, he kills it, and then the animal's in pieces. And when he's coming back this way, he does his best to now avoid it because it's now dead. He doesn't want it on his Prado. So I just...
No, you're absolutely right. This is a really open discussion that we need to continue to have, and I think we're not talking enough about it.
Spay and neuter.
Spay and neuter. And that's where it starts.
It's not in the psyche of people. A lot of Trinidadians, up the islands too, we've done saving up the islands as well. But Trinidadians feel that it's cutting an animal's nature, is not helping the animal. The animal doesn't live as long. But when you don't protect that sanctity of life, it becomes too cheap. So people get a dog, it gets dumped down the road, they get another one, they get a kitten, it makes 6 puppies, 6 kittens, they put it out by the river, they put it in a bag. Oh gosh, man, that is not, it's not nice, it's not good.
It's probably a controversial thing to say, but I like to say, if people saw animals as we see human beings, then we would not treat them the way that we do, because you would not, I mean, if you saw a human being, you would try to avoid them, right, when you're driving on the roads. But of course, if you see an animal, it's like, oh, well, here we go. Too bad for that. Cliff, what would you like to see in terms of legislation or law enforcement when it comes to animal abuse?
Right. Well, there's so many stories that come into us. Me personally, guy ties a dog in the middle of the yard, no water, no shelter, or he beats it, or they string it up, they starve it, they kick it. I've had kittens that have been cut in half because they're trying to raise psychological warfare on the tenants. We've had dogs that got their tails cut off, all kinds, poisoning. It is that education is important. So we could get a program, all the rest. We have a few hundred of us rescuers.
Yes.
Let's get a program. The government can't do everything, and they don't have enough money to do everything. So the rescuers could come together with some funding, some support, with some food the VAT is reduced, or we have special deals with the vets. We have an educational program. We go to the schools. We take the animals to the schools. We take them to hospitals. We educate the public to see, well, look, we're losing too many on the roads. Compassion. Teach compassion in the schools, and we bring children into our sanctuary. We bring schools. St. Joseph Convent has come and visited us several times.
On screen, we can see some of your cats that you feed every single day.
That's the first cattery. What we're doing is we cook for them every morning, and that's the first cattery we built with donations. Some of the people, it wouldn't have been possible without donations.
Yeah.
And we built a second cattery. I'm now going inside my house, I think, or just going into that's inside the house.
Yeah.
So we have animals we have cats in two catteries. We built 2 catteries, and we have about 150 in one cattery and about 80 in the other one, and the catteries are open. So the cats are not confined. We have an open out area where they go into the yard. But all of this would be possible. It just is a phenomenal amount of expenses.
It is, and I want to talk about the challenges. Now, you mentioned 256 cats.
Yes.
And every single day you feed these animals.
Twice a day.
Twice a day, and they are hungry creatures. Trust me, I know.
That's the easy
my
part.
My cat eats for 5.
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
The poop.
So how do you deal with that? What are the challenges? I know funding is also very, very, very important.
Yes.
And we have seen over the years a really nice, and I would say nice group of people that continue to come forward every time I would see you post something. You would have the regular, the usual suspects. We come in, here's what, send banking information.
Yes.
I've also seen some private companies as well getting involved.
Correct.
How do you deal with these challenges when things are rough?
Right. So what I've learned to do is to use Facebook, not run from it, or use social media, because we were fearful that by going out there and telling people, we'll get more animals dumped. So when we go to people, we have a list of people, and we ask them every so often to ask for a little help, whether it be a dollar, whether it be $100, whether it be $500, whether it be some materials, because every chance I get, and I get materials, I'll build another cattery. I'll build another cat area for dogs. So I would like to see Tardy Kitten and Puppy Sanctuary all over Trinidad, so that we have places where the animals can feel safe. We could carry them for people who were poor, carry them to get fixed, carry them to get medication. But for the expenses, a lot of companies now would like to give, but they don't know how. So that's another thing. We need to reach out and ask properly. Don't expect too much. Don't demand help. My mom always used to say, if you want something, Clifford, ask. The worst you could get is no.
No, yeah. Cliff, I want to briefly mention some of the rescuers that I've interacted with, and they're doing a good job. And please add to the list. There's Komal, there's Mel, there's Karuna.
Sharda.
There's Mustafa.
Right, Mustafa.
Yes,
she's been doing a great job.
That's right, Sharda.
With very little.
And with whatever little resources that they have, and they're always the first responders. So a lot of times you find, if you don't know, someone will post, hey, saw this dog on my way to work today. I was unable to help. Can anyone help? And then you have Clifford, you have the rest, and they are the ones now actually going there, leaving everything behind, just making that trek to wherever this animal is, and picking up this animal in whatever condition it may be. And sometimes, and I've seen your journey, and it's really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking, and it brings me to tears. And sometimes I struggle with being able to sleep after
it's tough.
Reading these things. Tough. How do you process these emotions?
Well, boy, you will lose some from time to time. The kitten I'm going to show you just now, I lost his sister.
I think they fell asleep.
Yeah, I lost his sister, and she died in my arms at about 4 in the morning.
I saw that.
And that is so hard, because you want to see it live, you want to see it thrive, you want to see it get past the following day. and then you have the other 256 waiting for you. So your mind, you can't spend too much time grieving. You get it over with, you get you get the animal buried, and then you go on from there. So it's an ongoing process. It doesn't make me or break me. It is what I'm programmed to do, because I'm a cancer survivor. So I want to make a difference.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a cancer survivor. I've been on here with talking about cancer already too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel that there are a lot of people like me, and a lot of people like Komal. Komal has about 5 billion dogs. Yeah. And she has very little.
I don't know how Komal does it.
So when we do what we do it out of love, and we need volunteers to come to our sanctuaries, to come and help us clean the animals. We need vets to give us some, if I can. We also need some vets to help us get some good pricing. If the government can help knock off some VAT on the food, because feeding isn't the only thing, because when you feed cats especially, they become very fertile. So you have to have all these programs in place. And for us as spayers, there's a guy called Ricky. He spays about 300 cats a year by himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also see some volunteers here on screen. It's always good when you take the schools.
That was St. Joseph's Convent.
Yeah, the students, and you know, just it's a great lesson in compassion as well.
Of course.
Clifford, there's sometimes people will say, "Well, what exactly can I do?" And I would say this, and I've told the people, just walk around with some tins of sardines, a bag of chow in your car. You never know when you will stumble upon an animal that needs food. And it's as simple as that. And you can start as small as that. Right? And then there's obviously, if you can make your donations, can you tell us how, if people want to get in contact with you, how can they make donations to contribute to the sanctuary and the work that you've been doing?
You just go up on our Facebook page, Tardieu Kitten and Puppy Sanctuary, or contact me or my wife. The phone numbers are also going to be available. 382-4926. You want to take him out for a second?
Oh yeah. So yeah, we've got some special guests. I think they fell asleep. I don't know. Oh my goodness! Hello, sweetheart.
That's Mimi.
This is Mimi.
Yeah. And
okay.
And this here.
Oh no!
This here.
I think we woke them up.
And this is Cookie.
And this is Cookie. This is the famous Cookie.
Yeah.
And they're making their debut on TNT today. Oh my goodness! It is a dose of cuteness this morning. I think. Oh. Are you thirsty?
Yeah.
Viewers, when you contribute to these rescuers and the work that they're doing, these are the lives that you are impacting.
Right.
And
he was dumped, and this one here, he lost his mom because they were poisoned.
They're so grateful.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you going to sit? Are you going to host this show now? Are you the new host of TNT today?
Go ahead, Cookie, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go talk to her. He'll come to you.
You look just like my baby as well. Oh, look. Oh, yes. So this is Cookie, and that is Mimi. And there's, you're not going too far. 256 cats at Tardieu's Sanctuary, and also 40-something dogs.
About 50.
Yeah. Cliff, before we wrap it up, I just want to talk about the expenses. We talked about donating.
Yes.
Tell us about the expenses to take care of. That's where Mimi is the warmest. Tell us about the expenses.
All right, cat food. We use a $320 or $340 bag every day. Plus, we use chicken liver. We use parboiled rice. We don't use pet rice much. We use parboiled rice because it doesn't stick under their gums.
Okay.
We use vitamins. We use lots of dog food. About a bag of dog food every 2 days.
Medicine.
Medicine as well. Doxycycline, moxycycline, prednisolone. Vet care. Oh, thousands of dollars every month, and it's always a struggle to make it. Always. At times when I'm calling people, please, can you help us out? And then somebody will send us some money via online, or somebody say, come Cliff, come and pick up some bags of food. Purina has helped us out a bit as well. Into the Woods, Three Cats. Some of these companies are really helping us. But what we really would like to see is that there's a kind of a coming together with rescuers.
Yeah.
Trinidad
I
society.
know you had a meeting recently.
Yeah. Trinidad society is a little disjointed, but if we could come together and work together and find the solutions and share the solutions. Yes, this vet or this doctor doing that, and he's really, really reasonable.
Yes.
Or this vet here, they're extremely good with cats. Or this vet here, this vet here. Because if we get the support, if we get the cooperation, we'll get more accomplished. We will never ever get the problem fully solved, but we could reduce it to a point where it doesn't become a problem for children growing up, where every day is seeing an animal dead on the streets.
Yeah.
That's the objective.
Yeah. Well, Cliff, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Please head across to his social media. That's the Taju's Sanctuary. You can check him out. He also engages a lot with all of the other rescuers. Please, Trinidad and Tobago, animal abuse is a serious issue. Any closing words before we go, Cliff?
Let's just be a little more kind, a little more compassionate. If you can't help yourself personally, call us. We'll help. Put a little money in it too, so it'll help us.
And if you can't help, don't hurt.
No, don't hurt the animals.
Yeah, it takes nothing. It takes nothing from people to not hurt the animals.
It costs nothing to be kind.
Yeah. So if you want to book a tour, perhaps, Cliff, do you have a number for them?
382-4926-703-0502.
And the name of your social media pages?
Tadu Kitten and Puppy Sanctuary.
Also, good morning to your wife.
Yes.
I'm sure she's holding down.
She's coming back in the morning.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow. So now you have to head back to deal with your 256 plus 40 something.
Yep.
And also to all the rescuers every single day doing such an amazing job across Trinidad and Tobago. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, doing the work that a lot of us can't do. But if you can't do something physically, of course, as Clifford said, donate as much as you can. And we're so happy to be able to end the show with Cookie and Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Hi, sweetheart. So that's it for today on TNT Today. Saying goodbye from Cookie and Mimi. Thanks to all our guests for joining us today. We had a really bumper show. Our guests are Dr. Chad Bisamba, Dr. Anthony Birchwood. We also had the NAPS Association. Tomorrow, we've got another one in store for you. Up next, we have Carrie with the 8 a.m. news right after the short break. Thanks for joining us on TNT Today.
Saturdays for CZIT's National Secondary Schools Climate Quiz. Brought to you by Fruta.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. 'Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. Oh, shun mi ba fishani. Oh, shun mi ba.
Line and Length, the #1 cricket program in the West Indies, is on TTT. Line and Length brings you up-to-date interviews, analysis, and highlights on the game in the region and internationally. Line and Length in association with Massey United Insurance on TTT.
Ladies, let me tell them, hey, hey, what they calling me? My nickname is Coffee. How I get that name? Cause I just keep him up.
She does keep you up.
I always keep him up.
Keep me up.
Cause I just keep him up. And every time I take a drink, I feel like whining.
I love you wine.
Like whining.
Let it wine, let it wine.
Oh, and every time my shots I take, I feel like lightning.
We had a line, laddie.
Like lightning.
Hey, oh, oh, oh.
How are you right up in my space? Yes. You can be right up in my space.
The space, the space.
How are you all up in my face?
All up in your face.
You can be right up in my space.
Good morning. This is your TTT News update at 8. I am Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Businesses are being urged to use transparency data as a strategic tool in an increasingly uncertain economy. This was the focus of a breakfast meeting hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce and the Trinidad and Tobago Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, examining how verified energy sector data can support better decision-making and accountability. Chief Executive Officer of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Vashti Gayadeen, underscored the growing importance of data-driven decision-making for businesses navigating economic uncertainty.
In today's economic environment, marked by uncertainty, fiscal constraints, foreign exchange pressures, and heightened ESG expectations, access to credible, timely data is no longer optional. It is a strategic necessity. This is particularly true for an economy such as ours.
That transparency is critical in an economy where the extractive sector continues to shape fiscal outcomes and foreign exchange flows.
Transparency is not anti-business. On the contrary, it creates predictability, reduces risk, and allows firms to plan with greater confidence.
Chairman of the Trinidad and Tobago Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, Gregory Maguire, said the initiative's core mission is to empower citizens and stakeholders through verified information.
It's our mission to promote greater transparency and a more effective management of the extractive sector by empowering citizens with relevant information.
5 of the 6 general hospitals in Trinidad and Tobago now have met the global standard of being designated baby-friendly hospitals, with San Fernando General Hospital the latest to receive the recognition. A PAHO WHO baby-friendly accreditation signifies a maternity facility that meets global standards set by the Baby Friendly Hospital Initiative to support and promote breastfeeding. Speaking at the recognition ceremony on Tuesday, accreditation was handed over by Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo. He said that San Fernando is the 5th of the 6 general hospitals to get this accreditation, with Port of Spain hopefully being next.
This accomplishment reflects your professionalism, teamwork, and steadfast commitment to excellence in maternal and newborn care. This milestone also reflects our ministry's nationwide, system-wide efforts to embed quality maternal and newborn care best practices into our hospital culture.
He said midwives should also be commended for the role they play in baby health. Minister Bodo referenced government's move to expand maternity and paternity protection as an example of its wider commitment to families.
Paid breastfeeding breaks and stronger policies against workplace discrimination. And I have to claim a little credit here for the paid breastfeeding breaks, because, and again, sometimes you learn from your own personal experience. When mothers have to leave the workplace or find a spot in the workplace to breastfeed, or perhaps to step out to breastfeed, where the baby is at the nursery, it's important.
A baby-friendly accredited hospital provides an environment where mothers receive consistent, evidence-based care and education to successfully breastfeed, starting from birth and beyond. Prominent youth football coach Michael Grayson praised Edward Eddie Hart's contributions to football, steel pan and cricket, while citing that his passing has left a void that needs to be filled. Grayson was speaking after Hart's funeral, which took place on Tuesday in Tacarigua.
Eddie was a sort of renaissance fella. But let me talk about the football and so on alone. The Eddie Hart League is, I mean, everybody knows. If you know about the Eddie Hart League, well, then something wrong with you. But his passing would leave a void. But I think it's a void that we have to seriously fill. No two ways about it. He gave his all, whether it was football, pan, cricket, whatever he was associated in. Okay? And as people say, he was a mentor to me also.
Hart, who passed away on January 4th, was the founder of the most impactful and long-standing football league in Trinidad and Tobago, the Eddie Hart Football League.
Playing in Eddie Hart League, that's the league you had to play in. You had to get recognition playing in Eddie Hart League, right? From whatever area, community you came from, and that was the nice thing about it. All the teams, they came from certain areas. You may have one or two from wherever to Napunan, but they came from areas, they represented the community, and that is where the competitiveness and the rivalry came in.
And that was your TTT News Update. I am Carrie Roberts. Have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.
The 9th World Expedition and the 10th Expedition will pick the final winner. So, if it's held every 5 years, then the 10th expedition must be...
the 50th anniversary.
But it doesn't make sense. That means there hasn't been a winner yet.
Hello, everyone!
Finally, let the 10th World Expedition competition begin!
Congratulations on participating in the largest grand finals ever, commemorating the 50th anniversary of the World Expedition Competition.
The Grand Finals consists of 4 stages: basic level, silver level, gold level, and diamond level.
And the winning team will be awarded the Golden Globe with the title of the world's best explorer.
So, the first mission is...
Boop boop!
Find the best chef with golden recipe.
Then, everyone, do your best! Bye! Boop boop!
Huh? A chef?
What's the mission? There's gotta be a hint, Robin. Initiate search.
Robin, initiating search. The best chef